Now, here's a bitter pill to swallow. Even today, over 40% of Indian households don't have access to safe drinking water.
You can find taps where they're supposed to be, but when you pull it out, there's nothing connected to it. The pipes that carry clean water and the pipes that carry sewage are actually mixing.
Between Feb 2025 and Jan 2026, over 5,500 people have been falling sick or have fallen sick because of contaminated water. 34 people died. This is a problem which is probably getting more and more serious with time.
Why is it the burden of the government alone to fix the problem? Why is it not every individual who can contribute? If you are breathing air, it's not the government who provides air, no? It's your air.
Yeah.
Then why can't you make your own water? So this is not an India problem. This is a world problem.
Joining me is Dr. Durga Das, founder and CEO of Aeronero, whose atmospheric air-water generator system captures moisture from the air and turns it into clean, safe drinking water. Indian dreams, global ambitions, but desi realities. As we continue to touch greater heights of globalization and worldwide influence, let's not forget that some things still need fixing. That's why we started the What India Needs podcast to highlight a solutions oriented approach towards inclusive nation building. Hello and welcome to What India Needs podcast with me, Shruta Paul. Now, here's a bitter pill to swallow. Even today, over 40% of Indian households don't have access to safe drinking water. The quality and safety of water is in question for wide populations in India even today. Joining me is Dr. Durga Das, founder and CEO of Aeronero, whose atmospheric air-water generator system captures moisture from the air and turns it into clean, safe drinking water. Durga, thank you so much for coming on What India Needs podcast.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
We are discussing water, the most essential necessity of mankind, womankind. And in India, of course, we've done really well with piped water. Access of water, 55 to 60% of households, we believe, are covered by it. But it also means that 40% don't have access to safe drinking water. Where do you think the gap lies and how do we plug that?
First of all, I'm not sure those numbers are exactly accurate because if you see this whole initiative by the current government, the Modi government, is this Har Ghar Jal, which is about getting piped water to every home, and that hasn't happened. In fact, it's now being investigated because it's like I think a 40,000 crore scam, and you can find taps at the where they're supposed to be, but when you pull it out, there's nothing connected to it. And so they're actually looking at what happened, and they're trying to set that right. But that obviously goes to show that there is no piped water to homes. And if you look at 60% of India, which is outside of the main cities,
Yeah.
there is no piping there, right? And that's what they want to do, to get water to everyone. Fortunately, in villages, there is still some rivers and lakes and some wells that offer some water, but that is not sufficient because we've also managed to contaminate whatever else is outside our cities because of the factories that are outside the cities, chemical contamination, sewage release into water systems. All this has gone and damaged even that ecological system outside of the main cities. Now, within cities itself, if you really look at pipe systems, the pipes that were laid are so old. It's the same problem in America, right? They're very old, and to change that is going to cost several $billion. That's why you have PFAS in the pipes, and it's only now they discovered, right? When the problem happened in Flint, Michigan, and they checked the water, they checked this, then they checked that, and they could not find out why the water at the end of the tap was terrible and contaminated. And then someone said, "Well, check the pipes." And that's when they realized it's a piping system that's the problem.
Right.
And it's the same in India. When were the pipes laid? I don't know. Did they do it before independence? Maybe in many parts of the city, in many parts of the country. So I think those pipes to change are difficult. And I think I spoke to an IS officer in Tamil Nadu probably a couple of years ago, And he said some of the problems are the pipes are old, where now the pipes, where there are cracks,
Hmm.
the pipes that carry clean water and the pipes that carry sewage are actually mixing. I heard about this or read about this that it happened in Delhi a few years
Yes,
ago,
yes,
where sewage water got mixed in with the
yes,
pipes.
yes.
So I don't believe that, first of all, we've covered everything with pipes. Secondly, even if we have, it's way too old.
Hmm.
It needs to be redone. And hence the laments that I've been doing for the last 5 years that we need distributed systems, right? Why is it the burden of the government alone to fix the problem? Why is it not every individual who can contribute? And if you are breathing air, it's not the government who provides air, no? It's your air.
Yeah, yeah,
Then why can't you make your own water?
yeah.
And that's how I've been going around talking about distributed solutions. And this piping system is something that has to change. It's not just here, it's all over the world.
Hmm.
Just because we live in new homes or new buildings with new pipes doesn't mean the rest of the pipes that came to there
True.
are equally new.
Yeah. And the numbers are scary. I mean, we should be worried as citizens because as you said, this is larger than a government problem. This is we need to all of us in our capacity kind of join hands, do what we need to do because between Feb 2025 and Jan 2026, and these numbers are from newspaper reports, over 5,500 people have been falling sick or have fallen sick because of contaminated water. 34 people died. And then all around the country, we have these numbers and incidents. In Nagpur, dirty water reached 50 localities, affecting 9 zones, affecting over 4 lakh households. In Bihar, 30,000, over 30,000 rural wards had contaminated water. Closer to home, Delhi, you mentioned the water contamination which happened. 22 people recently died in Indore. So clearly, I mean, this is not a problem which is going away. This is a problem which is probably getting more and more serious with time. And you mentioned decentralized systems. So tell us a bit about that. Could that be the solution which we need to push through with now?
Yeah, so you're right, and those numbers are probably right because I've also been reading, right, and it's not. Probably said it about one city, but it's happening in several
Several
cities across the
cities, yeah.
country. And by the way, we somehow seem to think, India is an underdeveloped country now, developing, and we have these problems. The problems in the world are much bigger than this.
Mm.
This morning, I was on a call with a solution provider for Virginia,
Mm.
right, in the U.S., East U.S. And I said, but you have lakes and rivers. She said, yes, but because of mining, they're all contaminated.
Mm.
And it's a poor country. They're calling Virginia a poor state,
Mm.
right? And where people can't afford to get water, so they're talking about taking a car, driving to a church or a school
Wow.
gymnasium, taking a 5 gallon tank of water and taking it back home.
Wow.
And I think we are in far better position than that. So this is not an India problem. This is a world problem, right? So I think you're exactly spot on the talking about the problem becoming critical, and it's not contained to just poor countries or developing countries, but it's to developed countries as well. When you talk about distributed systems, I'm not saying that that is the end game,
Mm.
right? It's definitely a part of the puzzle because it's going to be hard to make water for industry, agriculture, and drinking water all become distributed all at once,
Right.
right? It has to be thought through. It's not an easy task, but we can begin somewhere,
Mm.
right? And that somewhere can begin at home. We talk about Atmanirbhar in India.
Right.
So why not start at home? Right? I look at kitchens, and when I talk to people, and they say, "Oh, is that expensive?" I said, "When was the last time you checked your water from your tap, or from your RO system,
Mm.
or from the bottled water you drink? Have you ever checked it? No. But you want to question this? Fine, no problem. We'll answer that. We'll show you the results. We'll show you the reports.
Mm.
But having said that, let's talk about what's in your kitchen:
Mm.
a chimney and a hob, a microwave, a refrigerator, an oven, a dishwasher, a mixie, a grinder, a snack maker, toast maker.
Mm.
Now they have air
Air
fryers.
fries.
I mean, there's no end to the gizmos in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But the water, somebody has to bring it and deliver to your door.
Mm.
Why is that? You didn't seem to think that's the most important ingredient in your kitchen. And when you're breathing that air, why can't you make your own water? It's as
Yeah.
simple as that. And when we're spending thousands of rupees, and when today the average middle class is buying homes for, I don't know, 75 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crores, and above. What
True.
is 50, 60,000 rupees? Nothing.
Mm.
And that's to provide healthy water for yourself.
Mm.
And that's, so think of it as even as a fallback system, right? Just in case
Yeah.
the water that's coming through is contaminated or the water that is not coming regularly. Do you not want to protect yourself and your family and make sure you're independent of the grid?
Mm.
I mean, that's why the last 5 years I've been saying distributed system, saying at least each person should protect themselves. This is the air you breathe. So, but that's the other question I get asked, right? Oh, what about if the air is contaminated? I thought, well, you shouldn't be living there then.
Mm.
If you're breathing it, you can drink it,
Mm.
right?
Mm. Mm.
And all of a sudden, and it's unfortunate it has to be this way, but the war in between Israel and Iran has suddenly exploded.
Yeah.
And with the bombing of desalination plants, suddenly the grid water is not reliable anymore.
Yeah.
So I've got calls from all over the GCC saying that can you send us machines for our homes, for our villas? Why is it a calamity is required to wake up and
Yeah.
smell the coffee?
Yeah.
Same thing happened with the pandemic. We didn't think we needed to watch our health or watch what we put in our mouth or what we breathe. Worldwide calamity, and then suddenly we wake up.
True.
But maybe that's the nature of the beast. That's how we human beings are.
So, I mean, so many disruptions. I mean, every conversation that I'm having on our podcast is so tinged and colored by disruptions because there is something every year. And this year, we have, of course, the war, the West Asia war. A few years ago, pandemic again. And who knows what happens? Even a tariff hike is a disruption for a nation. Um, but climate becomes the biggest and most persistent disruptor. Climate change, extreme climate also affects water availability of it. Piped systems have issues. Contamination we see can go high if there's extreme climate, drought, or heavy flooding. And much of India, and I specifically will speak, is groundwater dependent. Bangalore, for example, is a tanker fed city, right? And it's a very difficult position when there are dry years, and it's terrible to see people not getting enough water. Groundwater depletion, contamination, both by overuse or extreme climate, is a huge problem. And are those all the reasons why you started Aeronero? Because I would love to understand what drove you to it, a bit about your journey as well.
Yeah. My background is kind of interesting. I'm a professional sportsman.
Yes.
I played cricket at the national level in
Mm.
India, and then I captained the U.S. team and the Americas for 6 years. Took America to the first America's Cup victory, and then to the World Cup qualifier. I've also played the amateur golf circuit for about 6, 7 years, and now of late in the last 6 years, I've been sailing. I recently did a Chennai, Jaffna back uh,
Wow.
sailing trip. So I love sport, and I presume I'll continue to do that. And I always say everything I seem to have learned in life has come from some sport, right? Whichever field or water that I played in,
Mm.
because I didn't get to study very much, and that also has a background in how I became an entrepreneur. Um, when I was about 11, and we were a well-to-do family, and typical South Indian Brahmin family, I learned all the music and the arts,
Mm.
teachers every day. Very strict upbringing. No TV, no telephone, no parties, no going out, no movies. You just go to school, you get trained, and you go to bed.
Mm.
Learn to get up like good young women and get
Mm.
on with it. But when I was 11, my father had hosted a party, as he did usually on weekends, and typically 200 people would come, and they were playing music. He went to change the record, tripped on someone's foot, and came crashing down from his music room. He was a very interesting man himself. He did the first fashion shows in India. The Co-optics butterfly was created by him. The Tamil Nadu tourism logo was created by him. So a lot of iconic logos created by him. So he was a
Right.
well-known advertising guru.
Mm-hmm.
And I even watched, I believe, Kabir Bedi and Rati Agnihotri walked the ramp for my father
Mm.
when I was barely five, I think,
Wow.
or something like that. But anyway, so he came crashing down from his music room, and that was the beginning of the end. He was in bed, tied up for a year. We lost everything and that beautiful home, and we were on the streets. And
Oh.
well, I thought that was a good way for not going to school because I was not the best of
Wow.
students, and I was
Yeah.
very reclusive even in school. And unfortunately, that was not an option. Him being a strict man, he said, "No, no, you have to." And I have no idea why a mousy kid like me would even open my mouth to tell him that, I would do something for the family when I was 18. And he just said, "Why not now?" And I was like, "Now? I'm like 13, maybe
Mm.
just about to be 14. What do I do?"
Right.
But I think when you set your mind on a purpose,
Mm.
the rest just follows, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, Purpose drives passion, and passion delivers perseverance. So no challenge is challenge enough.
Mm.
And so the purpose was to save my family. And I knew cricket, so I started a sports shop selling a bat and a ball. And then I started to make my own sportswear in Tirupur. This was, I'm talking 1984, 85. And then I started a ice cream parlor in the same shop, and I delivered home ice cream. We talk about Swiggy and Zomato today. I did home delivery of ice cream.
How was it
Recommend.
being a woman entrepreneur
I
then?
didn't think. I just did it because
Nice.
I didn't have a choice. No,
Mm.
like I said, if you have purpose, all else fades into
Yeah.
you know submission. I don't think it comes and stands in front of you as opposition,
Right.
because your focus is very intense,
Mm.
right? And somehow when you're that focused and your purpose is for a higher good, right? It's not selfish, not materialistic. I think even literally as the oceans parted for Moses, people, conspired to help you.
Yeah.
And so people I knew, people I didn't know, all conspired, and I think it all came together.
Mm.
I started delivering tea from estates direct to factories. My classmates' fathers ran big factories like Wheels India, Brakes India, TVS Motors, all the Indias you can imagine. And I was playing golf some tournament, and I had somebody who was just managing an estate, and I said, "Why don't I supply that wholesale tea?"
Mm.
Today we talk about farm to table.
Mm.
I did farm to factory.
Wow.
These are this is innovation today, but those days it was survival.
Wow.
We didn't have telephones, no. We went to the post office. We didn't have computers. We wrote, right? I didn't even have a typewriter, let alone a computer.
Mm.
So you still had to feed your family, and you
Yeah.
still had to do business. You still had to make money, and all that's possible. It's not that just because we have all these gizmos today, we're doing it better. I think the fundamentals are always the same,
Yeah.
right? And I have seen this whole change in my own lifetime, where even my mother now wants instant gratification. She'll say, "I called you 20 times." I'll say, "But that was in 5 minutes."
Yeah.
Why didn't you pick up my call, right?
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
WhatsApping.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the technology has changed tremendously, but the basics of business remain the same.
Mm.
And as long as they're purpose driven, things fall into place.
Mm.
So, going back to the rest of your question on why Aeronero.
Aeronero. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I did all of this when I was young, and then I started an ad agency,
Mm.
and then my father died,
Sorry to
and
hear
I
that.
had a brain tumor. It was a wake up call for me. And I said, "Why am I doing? I mean, this is all. Is this life?" So I became a hippie. I gave up everything I had. I became a hippie. I wandered the world for a year. I did odd jobs. I slept on park benches. I was a maid in some doctor's house. I was a waitress somewhere else. I was a forklift operator in some part of the world. And a year later, I found my peace, came back, and I said, now I have to do something extremely different.
Mm.
And that was technology. So, what I didn't know, that computer looked like a TV to me. I didn't know how to type, but that's what I got into. And I fortunate enough to get into a company that did some exciting work in technology those days. It was 1991. And within a year, I helped set up our office in Asia Pacific. I helped automate the Madras Stock Exchange, and they said, "Why don't you go to California?" And I said, "No, no, been there, done that."
Mm.
And I love saying this, no, no. It's like Miranda Priestley nowadays, right? No, no. And so I went to California and then took over running the company. And then that started a journey of 30 years of technology.
Mm.
So I built and sold a few companies and played cricket at the same time for the US. But I had gone beyond survival. I had even gone beyond security. And now what?
Hmm.
I didn't have purpose. And I was desperately searching for what is my purpose now? And I think it was this inner drive, this vehement
Hmm.
ask inside me saying, what is it? What am I
Hmm.
going to do
What
now?
more can you
What else
do?
is
Yeah,
left in life?
yeah.
What can I be left standing for?
Hmm.
And I remember a lady called Elise Nelson, Vital Voices, out of program from DC, asking me, you know, what is your, what drives you? What is your
Hmm.
passion? And when I truly thought about it, I think it is something as selfish as I want to be remembered when I die by at least two people,
Hmm.
because one can be a fluke. Second is validation. Somebody who doesn't even know me. It has to be somebody who's completely unknown to me.
Yeah.
And to have those two people remember me for something I did good, I have to at least change a village.
Hmm.
So now I knew that it had to be an idea that is large. So I knew
Which
I had
has
to do something,
impact. Yeah.
and it had to be of a large impact. So I
Hmm.
guess these two ideas were working in my head. And I happened to be playing a tour in South Africa. Cape Town ran out of water.
Hmm.
And in 2019, Chennai,
Yeah.
my own home city, ran out of water. We had a day zero.
Yes. Yes.
It was like something divine saying, well, here's your problem.
Yeah.
And so therefore, I got into water. Now, my nature is obviously to do something different always. I could have made another water filter, I could have bottled another bottle. But I said, no, let's figure something that's different, something that'll
Truly
create,
innovative.
yeah, create passion.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So when it's creative and something is new, then you wake up every day thinking, what can I do different? What
Hmm.
else can I do about it? What can I make better about it?
Hmm.
Right? So I decided let's form a deep tech company. We are a women-led deep tech company,
Hmm.
and
And you're
we've
one of the few women entrepreneurs in the world who are in atmospheric water.
well, I think there's just one in Africa. There's no one else in atmospheric water, and I'm the only one who's innovating.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
don't believe she's innovating. So we are truly a deep tech innovation company. We have
Hmm.
over 10, 11 scientists that are both on board full time as well as consulting with us. We work with academia across the world, including uh, UPenn in Philadelphia. We work with IIT Madras. We have people from interns from IIT Mandi.
Hmm.
We work with Garden University in Bangalore. We have now VIT and SRM that you're talking to. The idea is to not think of this as my idea and
Hmm.
what am I building for some success story of my own.
Hmm.
It has to be a collaborative effort and a
Yeah.
kind of a partnership, if you will, globally, if
Hmm.
we can, that takes an idea into making more meaningful solution that impacts the world, right? And I wrote a song to play for Prime Minister Modi whenever I can, and
Hmm.
it's basically India to the world, right? Everyone
Right.
talks about from India to the world. Why can't India manufacture for the world?
Hmm.
And so that's exactly what we're intending to do, and we have done. Our product is by far the smallest footprint in the world,
Hmm.
and because we made in India, we're economically viable
Yeah.
compared to my competitors who are sometimes three times more.
So that's the Condesa technology
So
that you'll
Condesa
tell
is
us
very
about.
interesting, right?
Hmm.
So there are three forms of extraction of moisture from air.
Hmm.
One is condensation, it's rain, it's
Right.
nature,
Hmm.
right? You just take the cycle and do it inside a machine.
Hmm.
This is what typically most people in AWG are doing. The second is desiccation, and there are three players, including ourselves.
Okay.
Desiccation is that little white pouch you have when you buy electronics, right? Your laptop or your
Mm-hmm.
phone, and you just throw it out when you open the box. That keeps your electronics dry
Dry.
because it adsorbs,
Right.
right?
Right.
So adsorption and desorption is a method. The third is the Peltier effect, a heat and cold element. We're the only company in the world that has patents in two and works with all three. And the hybridization of some of those is
Hmm.
what makes us do things a little better, and that's
Okay.
Condesa.
All right. Wow, that's fascinating. So, um, would it work? Would your technology work in the very dry belts of India?
Yes. So all people in AWG, which is now becoming the future of water, typically ask for 80% RH or 30 degrees Celsius, which is ideal,
Okay.
right? And one most people forget we also need airflow. That's
Hmm.
a third component. What we're doing at Aeronero is trying to break those barriers,
Okay.
saying, can we work at 5 degrees? How about really cold temperatures?
Hmm.
Can we work at 10 15% humidity?
Hmm.
right? And how can we bring that both together and yet be energy efficient and time efficient?
Hmm.
And so, while it's not possible using traditional methods of condensation, it's possible when you innovate at a deep technology level.
Right.
For example, when you do desiccation, you can work in low humidity, like even at 15%,
Hmm.
but you'll produce only small amounts of water.
Hmm.
So, you need bulky systems, right? And it will take time. Condensation produces a lot more, but it consumes a lot more energy.
Right.
See, that's why the hybridization
And
works.
yeah.
So, we're working now at cost of our water is about 4 rupees or 4 cents a liter, and we buy for 20-25 rupees now a liter of water, right, in a plastic
Oh,
bottle.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can make a liter of mineralized alkaline water with a pH between 7 and 9, which is healthy for you, which your blood is alkaline, by the way,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? And you can make that in your home
Wow. How
for
much time
4
does it
rupees
take?
Typically in the night, right?
Hmm.
70% of the water is produced because humidity is high at night, even though we think it's cooler.
Hmm.
So if you have a 20-liter system, the tank will get full and will switch off at night.
Right.
Then you drink, and when it goes below a certain level is when the machine starts again. So you have machines that are 20 liters, 40 liters, 150, 500, 1000, 5000, and based on their size and their energy power and their compressing power is
Hmm.
how much water you get per hour.
Right. And what's the range like? Like price range like? It's something that, you know, would you be a D2C?
So we are already selling to individuals. We
Hmm.
work with builders like Prestige, who have given us last year they gave us 28 projects, and this year 34. I think altogether 70,000 homes,
Wow.
and they put it in all the communities and the clubhouses
In Bangalore?
all over the
All
country.
over? Okay.
I would say predominantly in Bangalore, but all over the country. We're
So
in seven
needed.
cities with them,
Okay.
and now we're expanding to other builders, and not just in India, but in other parts of the world as well, in the Gulf, in Latin America, in the US. And that's one way of getting it to the end customer rather than becoming a retail product. We do
Hmm.
it via the builder, right?
Right. Right.
Because a builder is typically looking to provide a chimney and a hob and maybe some lighting or some air conditioner for the home.
Hmm. Hmm.
So why don't you provide the water, right?
And
Because
that's
everyone
amazing.
seems to
Yeah.
have a problem.
Yeah.
So that's one way we do it. The other way, of course, is uh, we work with government, we work with communities, we work on ships, we do a lot of work on marine.
Hmm.
Now we're working on building something for the soldiers to make water on the go. And I don't want to kind of open up the secret box of all the stuff that we're innovating on,
Right.
but rest be known that we have a very robust product development roadmap, and
Beyond water or
it's all about water.
okay.
Everything is about water.
Hmm.
So it can be water for drinking, water for the future of farming. It can be water for gray use and reuse. It can be water that produces light.
Hmm.
It can be hydrogen.
Wow.
It's all about water.
And considering where the world is going with the looming water crisis, I mean, it is forecast and predicted that the wars will be now over water more and more, and we need more innovation like yours. What is Aeronero's like carbon footprint, like energy per liter benchmark?
Yeah. So the first thing, interesting thing, anyway, when you say carbon footprint, is we actually very early on started capturing information about the water we save and the carbon, we save. So
Right.
we actually have data that we've been collecting from the first day we started.
Okay.
Now, of course, to monetize it, it's going to take some time. We don't have a
Hmm.
monetization platform in India, but I feel it's good to keep computing that because at some point, industries that want to have ESG credit can
Yes.
leverage it. And if they do, then I would be able to offset some of that cost to the individual like yourself
Yeah.
at home
Yeah.
who possibly can't afford it, right? And say, okay, well, I can give it to you much cheaper because
Hmm.
someone else took the carbon credit that you will be generating every day,
Hmm.
but you have no purpose for it, right?
Hmm.
But somebody else can use it.
Right.
So I think we've been doing this and we're continuously playing on that as well. As far as energy goes, like I said, it depends on each machine, but um, it ranges from 230 watts to 2.4 kilowatts
Okay.
hour. And we're because of desiccation, we're cutting that down in half. One of our innovation is now to bring the energy by 50%, but the output up by 50%.
Okay.
And so we have material science scientists, we have nanomaterial scientists, we have thermal energy engineers and scientists working with us, people who have been their entire life in water and energy. Dr. Purnima Jalihal, Professor Vel Rajamana University, Dr. Satya Prasad, Dr. Surya, Dr. Alamelu, like I said, a lot of women,
Hmm.
women scientists. So everybody's working on different aspects of what we can do to make this, um, I would say, lighter, better, smaller footprint, better output, lower cost, overall price coming down. Uh,
What's the range? What's the price range, by the way?
Currently between 75,000 and up. I mean, the 500-liter system we sell at about 6-7 lakhs,
Mm-hmm.
and the 20-liter system at 75,000. But I'm looking at giving it as a product as a service. So you do a little down payment and pay me 2,000 rupees a month.
Yeah,
It's like everybody buys like a
for sure.
snack every week for
Yeah,
that price, right?
yeah, yeah.
So at 2,000 rupees, you probably are spending that on water anyway.
Yes.
Just give me that and we'll do a 5-year contract and have a machine at your door, fully maintained by us. So that's something we're looking at. We also do bottled water called
Okay.
Aqua and Air. So that is premium water bottled in glass bottles, and that's typically for bars, restaurants, and cafes. We
Right.
do in-house bottling for hotels,
Mm-hmm.
and that line is our water as a service line.
Wow. So, now this, because you've been collecting data and maintaining it since you all started, and what we've in our research found is that over 150 million liters of groundwater has been saved thanks to your
Yes,
innovation. Is that right? I'm sure the numbers are
it keeps
more.
increasing every
Yeah.
second. Because for every liter of water we make from the air, oh, let's just talk about what we make from the ground. To bottle your 2 liters of water in that bottle, you probably took out 10 liters from the ground because the RO system will throw out so much.
Hmm.
And that's only because it never used to be that in the past,
Right.
because our groundwater wasn't so contaminated that you could make a liter, you'll waste a liter.
Hmm.
With contamination, the entire Gangetic plain, which is basically India, full
Hmm.
of arsenic and E. coli, poisonous shit, in other words,
Absolutely.
you're spending like 5 liters for every liter.
Yeah.
So that's a total of 6 to make that 1 liter.
Hmm.
Whereas I make 1 liter from air, I don't take anything from the ground. So that's 6 saved,
Hmm.
right? So that's how we compute the amount of water
But
we've
you do
saved.
have systems in place. Like, I know we spoke about if you are making in a polluted city. For example, Delhi. Say Delhi post Diwali, right, is a gas chamber. If your machine was to work then, would you be able to, I'm sure you would be able to, like, filter out the particulate matter from the air and then
Absolutely.
create
You
the water?
probably need to, in Delhi, you have to change your air filter to HEPA filter. You probably have to clean your filter every day,
Mm,
whereas in like Chennai, I would do it once in 3 months,
right.
right? In maybe another dusty climate once a week. So you have an air filter which you would clean, but in Delhi,
Mm,
in those moments, you would have to change the filter itself from a 10 micron to a HEPA filter,
right.
right? To cut out those particles. We have a 5-stage filtration system, so we have pre-post carbon, and then we have the mineralizer, then we have UV as well, all built into the system.
Right. Wow.
So we've run it in Delhi, I think in the middle of your most polluted time. That was 700, 600 AQI or something. And we produced water and it was healthy and people drank it.
Amazing.
I think it was at the function I met you.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, let's let's talk about your book which is coming up, because water for all is a motto that I think you have been championing
Yes.
through your work, through your vision, and now you have a book about it. So tell us a bit about that.
So I have to owe this all to our chief strategy officer and somebody I call my co-founder, and I think one of the biggest leadership roles in our company. And his name is Ravi Karkara. He was he lived in New York for about 20 years, worked with the UN. One of those people who actually has worked most of his life in sustainability,
Okay.
helped migrate from the MDGs to the SDGs. Um, Wrote a book about AI for food. It's been now taught in a couple of universities as material for students. And now, with his wife, who's in the UN, moved to Kenya. He's the one who's been prodding me to say that I'm typically quite shy. I'm, like I said, reclusive. I
Hmm.
speak when I have to. But he's been saying, no, we have to get the story out. We have to get the message out. You're the only woman doing this. So you have to write.
Mm.
And so I started this writing journey, I think maybe 5, 6 months ago. And I speak from my heart. And so I guess I write from my heart. I can't think of speaking or writing as a message or a text that I want to devise, right,
Mm.
to serve a purpose. It has to just come from the heart, so it is what it is,
Yeah.
right? So it's got this eclectic mix of technology and why I'm doing it, and my journey and the challenges, and also the purpose. So
Right.
it's an easy read. It's about 120 pages, right? It's going through editing right now, and we hope to launch it. I think Ravi is planning something around August, September.
I look forward to reading it, Durga. And it's so interesting what you're doing, and your entire journey itself. Now that we know so much about it, is very inspiring.
Thank
So
you.
we that brings us to the last segment. It's a quick Q&A,
Sure.
one or two word answers if you can.
Hmm.
Centralized mega plants or decentralized micro units, which is India's long-term future?
A good combination, I would say, 70/30. You
70
need to have
30.
70 centralized for the larger use cases for industry and agriculture, especially industry, which consumes a lot of water. Now, with data centers mushrooming,
Oh, yes.
and the 30% would be the homes that people have to become independent and off the grid, just like we do with power. I know, sorry, that wasn't two words, but
Yeah. No,
I
but
was
it's fine.
substantiating
Yeah.
the
The
two-word answer.
selection. No, no, I agree with you. In the fight against water scarcity, what is your winning six?
I believe that my winning six would be if I can get the team to play together
Mm,
and focus on, you know, building self-reliance, atmanirbharta, right?
yeah.
And working with the government to provide that sense of purpose together. It's not that we can't help to find solutions together,
Mm,
and rather than rely and put the responsibility all on somebody's head.
yeah. Yeah.
So that six would be, I mean, if you speak of India, I would say the people of India, even if you take the population that can afford technology and value systems like this, if we do it, then we save 6 liters for every liter. That water can go to those who can't afford it, right? Rather than being selfish
Yes.
and saying that I've taken care of myself and the others can defend themselves. So I think
Yeah.
it's about truly being a unit together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that would be a good six for the country, not just for
Mm,
me.
absolutely. And we know that um, good water, safe drinking water, all of that is good business as well
Of
because
course.
it has a huge impact on our GDP. There are numbers that, if we don't take care of the water issue here, we will be losing out on our GDP as well. What does water independence mean to you personally?
Water independence to me is, can I take more than two words?
Yes, please. A
Our
sentence.
body is 70% water.
Hmm.
Our planet is 70% water, right? What is this 70%? That is all connected.
Hmm.
The other fun fact that you should all think about is the sun is older than the earth, but the water on earth is older than the sun. Do you know that?
Wow.
It came later
Mm.
and it ended up being 70 and 70,
Wow.
right? So, what's in our body, what's on the planet, right? Everything is 70. So, I think water independence is about being connected back to nature, you know, understanding that we all came from the same ecosystem and that we need to protect each other to
Hmm.
survive. We can't just, take off one and think that we'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think nature will fight back.
Yeah, and
But
and
if,
we are seeing that as
yes,
well.
so if we can work in unity with nature, um, considering we're all the same,
Yeah.
and I think water independence is not something that you have to fight for.
Hmm.
It just becomes a way of life, right? It's a question of the fight we have to do before that fight, right? The fight of saying that we will be together, we will look after our planet, we will look after nature. And water independence, of course, at the end of the day, is for all those who can't afford to and who are suffering at our hands, the hands of the few who are wealthy or like to trying to make money or creating businesses. And when we use and consume without consideration for those who can't afford, I think that is sacrilege.
Yeah.
And for me, when those people have access, I think, and they should. Why is it the privilege of the rich to drink alkaline mineralized water? Why can't everyone have alkaline mineralized water?
Mm. Therefore, water
All,
for all.
always.
Um, Last parting thoughts, which I can't uh, stop this conversation without asking you. What qualities of a sports person um, have you taken into being an entrepreneur? And this is for all the people who have entrepreneurial dreams or are already on that
Just
journey.
about everything I am, I guess. But so if you take every sport, cricket taught me leadership, playing with a team. You can't play cricket by yourself,
Mm,
can you? And you need an opposition as well. Um, to win and lose with equanimity, to know that there's another day you can play another game. It's not the end of the world.
mhm,
To understand the strengths of others and bring them all together. Again, like the strength of a leader. In golf, I learned that you're not playing against anybody. You're playing against yourself. It's nature. Golf is the only sport that teaches you to be honest because that
mm,
little ball that moves near your foot, nobody can see.
mm,
But if it rolls one roll, that's a stroke,
mm,
and you have to call it, right? And you're only playing with nature, the wind, water, nature, trees, plants around you. So while you may be walking with someone, you're not competing with them, you're competing with yourself.
yourself.
In sailing, I learned patience. You're the mercy of the wind and the ocean, right? There's nothing you can do if there's no wind. And you have two little strings called the telltale hanging on the top.
Mm.
And a little flutter is all you need to get your heart fluttering, saying, oh my God, we can now move, right? And you learn strategy again. How do you work with the wind to move faster,
Mm,
especially when you're competing?
mm,
So every sport has probably taught me grit, determination, the ability to realize that we're very small in the
larger
universe.
scheme of things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. And we have to learn to stay humble. And I don't, and I know it's a very well used cliche that we all learn always, but it is the truth. There is nothing, there's no time that you can say, I know it all, right? And I think to be open to learning from whoever you meet, whenever you meet, um, I think is the greatest strength that one can have.
Yeah.
And it has to come from genuinely within, not just because we say it at a coffee table
Hmm.
or at a discussion like this. It has to be genuinely coming
Yeah.
from within. My motto in life has been very simple. What I think, what I speak, what I feel, and what I do are in one straight line. Whether it works for me or not, whether it's beneficial or not, it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Eventually, I sleep easy.
Yeah. And that's the most important thing, isn't
Yes.
it? To
Yes.
sleep easy. Durga, I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much for coming on What India Needs podcast.
Thank you very much for having me again. Pleasure.
Thank you for watching What India Needs podcast. I hope you liked the conversation. Do like, share, and subscribe to our channel and leave your comments below. Thank you. See you next time.